The city of Perry getting $500,000 to clean up a contaminated area next to the city's event center. Last year, they applied for a grant from the Environmental Protection Agency that targets brownfield properties, those affected by pollutants or hazardous substances. Camila Williams shows you what's going to happen with that money.
Last September, the city of Perry applied for a grant through the EPA that would clean up and revitalize this space next to the Perry Event Center. Now, with the grant approved, what's next for the space?
We'll be able to come in and remediate the site you see behind us.
If you ever drove by the big water tower in Perry, you probably saw this big empty space next to the Perry Event Center. Assistant City Manager Robert Smith says this area came with some history.
This was actually a former dry cleaner site, and it is contaminated with what they call PCEs, which is basically dry cleaning fluid.
Smith says back in the day, workers would dump the fluid out the side of the building. That's how the soil became contaminated. A test well
To check for groundwater contamination.
shows them just how far the contamination goes, so they'll know how to best clean it up.
So we're actually going to come in and excavate 1,500 cubic yards of soil, the contaminated soil, take it to an approved landfill, and then fill it back in with clean soil.
Perry was one of 4 cities in Georgia to receive a piece of the $4 million EPA Brownsfield grant. Smith says once the city receives the money, they will get to work.
We contract with an engineer, and that engineer will work with contractors to come in and actually do the physical work.
Once the contaminated soil is removed, what's next?
And ultimately, we hope to transition this whole area into a nice, welcoming gateway into downtown Perry. We also hope to provide some sort of amenity for children and families, like perhaps an interactive art installation, something like that.
A blighted spot converted to a bright spot to add to the beauty of downtown Perry. Camila Williams, 13 WMAZ News.
Smith says cleanup work is expected to start this fall. Once started, it should take 6 to 8 months to complete.